We love hip
title I
hop.
have here, Top 5 in Danger, right? Somebody brought this to my attention. They sent me a video courtesy of Trap Lord Ross. And from this video, it was saying that members of Ryan Wedding's gang or Ryan Wedding were at war with Top 5 or were trying to kill him at some point in time. Listen, I'm gonna play the video. Trap Lord Ross seems to have information that I wasn't aware of, and I'm here in Toronto, and I talked about Top 5. So let's hear what he has to say.
Story in the Toronto gang wars, because it turns out two of the most notorious... I just found out the craziest backstory in the Toronto gang wars, because it turns out two of the most notorious demons from Toronto apparently had this kind of weird disconnected beef going on, and I really just can't believe it. Demons so if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that on my main channel, Trap Lord Ross, I do kind of documentary style videos. Now, in this video, I broke down the history of this guy called Ryan Wedding, okay? He's the Narc Olympian. That's what I called him. He was basically an Olympic snowboarder that ended up becoming such a big drug dealer that he was tapped in with the cartels. He was a real-life narco making millions of dollars moving dope, all right? But he also had hitmen on his squad. Now, what's crazy is if you follow me long enough, you'll know that I've done videos about this Toronto demon, Top 5. He was allegedly Drake's shooter. Okay, he's been involved in a whole bunch of interesting murder cases. Rumor has it he got a few bodies. I discuss it in this video. But now come to find out that Ryan Wedding's alleged billion-dollar trafficking crew that had hitmen's on tap, they might well have been at war with Top 5's GGGs, the Go Get 'Em gang. There's actually genuinely a crossover going on, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. I couldn't believe it when I found this out. So basically, search warrant documents that have recently been unsealed by an Ontario court at the request of the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, a news network, and the Toronto Star of...
CBC, what up?
Now revealed there is actually a deep connection between Ryan Wedding's drug trafficking crew and Top 5's GGGs. So this is an article that's going around. It says Toronto gang war led police to a trove of evidence in the Ryan Wedding cocaine case, the court docs say. So it's pretty crazy. It's actually insane. New details of Malik Damian Cunningham's arrest revealed in a search warrants documents, okay? There's all the documents. They got a whole bunch of documents, and it's basically going to break everything down in here. It says when police approached a stolen SUV near the funeral of a suspected gang member in Vaughan, Ontario in April 2024, they couldn't have expected that it would help the FBI bring down a violent transnational cocaine empire tied to the Sinaloa cartel. Inside the 2023 Ford Explorer with heavily tinted windows, officers found Malik Damian Cunningham, an alleged rival gang member and hitman who U.S. prosecutors say had been hired, armed, and trained by Ryan Wedding's sprawling criminal enterprise. I've heard of demons and gangsters having hitmen, but I ain't heard of them hiring, arming, and training them. That's really some cartel shit. I'm not going to lie to you. That's out of control. So
you guys remember anybody who is a long-time viewer over here on the live streams? We covered this gentleman over here, Cunningham, and them getting military-style training from Ryan Wedding's gang. Or I guess the training people or whatever, whoever handles the training over there. It's like, ooh. They put these guys back in Toronto after they bring them to Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. And then get them, you know, they go through all their military training over there, how to shoot, how to freaking dodge bullets, all whatever. I don't know what the hell the training entails of. But then they come back to Toronto as like super thugs, right? Salute to Nori.
It says more than 2 years after Cunningham's arrest, new details about the circumstances of the police operation have emerged from search warrant documents recently unsealed by an Ontario court at the request of CBC News and the Toronto Star. What appears to have been a chance encounter with local police near the funeral in the city just north of Toronto led officers to seize an iPhone that court documents suggested later provided the FBI with a trove of insights into the inner workings of Wedding's network. So Ryan Wedding, who went by the alias Public Enemy and Giant, was arrested in Mexico earlier this year. A former Team Canada Olympic snowboarder, he's accused of leading the cartel-linked empire that smuggled truckloads of blow and fent across North America and carried out dozens of killings. That's why my video is called The Many Murders of Ryan Wedding. So if you want the whole story, go and check that out. Nobody's done a better breakdown than that video. Okay. This is actually insane. So he pled not guilty in California to charges relating to murder and drug trafficking and money laundering, but the allegations against Wedding and Cunningham have not been proven in court. But Cunningham's lawyer, Jassi Vamadivan, didn't respond to a request for comment by CBC News on Wednesday. So this is pretty crazy, right? This is pretty crazy. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to keep reading this, but we're going to get to it because what I'm going to tell you later on in this video is absolutely insanity. It says the search warrant documents stem from a police
investigation to Ross, but I want to just speed it up just a bit.
Investigation into the April 1st, 2024 shooting death of 29-year-old Randy Fader in his Niagara Falls, Ontario driveway. Fader, described in court documents as an international drug trafficker, had met with Mexican cartel people and was shot in the head at the request of Wedding's top lieutenant, according to U.S. prosecutors. Cunningham, the alleged gunman, was nicknamed Mr. Perfect and is charged with murder in connection with Fader's killing. Police suspect the now 25-year-old Cunningham was getting ready to carry out another serious criminal act when they arrested him outside of a funeral in Vaughan. Okay, this is his second in command, Andrew Clark, that was captured by Mexican security forces. So basically, here's how it all ties together to Top 5. It says the newly unsealed documents revealed that the funeral back in April 2024 was for Ibrahim Ibtikarim, an alleged member of the GGG's Go Get 'Em gang based in Toronto's Lawrence Heights neighborhood, aka the Jungle. Basically, the 30-year-old was killed in an early morning triple shooting that remains unsolved. I believe that Malik Cunningham was at this funeral for some sort of criminal purpose. Niagara Regional Police Department Constable James Princeton wrote in a letter in April 2024 he was seeking a search warrant connected to Randy Fader's killing. So according to the doc...
There's an explanation for this, actually. Because this Cunningham guy, the Malik Cunningham guy, if you guys remember the news story that they had about this Malik Cunningham guy, he was actually, okay, hold on. I'm not even going to say it. Comic Gang Strong. Where was Malik Cunningham from? Let me know. Let me roll up my thing quick, fast. Let me know. Comic Gang Strong. What Toronto name brand hood was Malik Cunningham from? Let me know. Okay, as we saying, I'm into parties and shit like that or whatever. Y'all let me know. All right, should I be playing some Jeopardy music for y'all? Let me know. We got enough people over here on the viewership. There's enough people. Nope, it's not. Nope, that's not it. Oh, we got one. Okay. Malik, my bad. I'm just using one hand right now. Cunningham. Ryan Wedding. CBC report. Alien phone. This is the guy who they said they went through his phone and found out a bunch of shit that led to the whole Ryan Wedding arrest. That sucks. The plot thickens. So, prison, okay, which is I think was the prosecutor or something in this case here, said that Cunningham was identified as a member of the Falstaff crew. Ooh, what a tangle web has been weaved.
Documents, right? This Canadian assassin was working for Wedding's crew. He was called Mr. Perfect, real name Malik Cunningham, and apparently he was actually connected to both Wedding's crew and a Toronto-based gang from Falstaff Avenue, which is like a big, basically the news are calling them the Falstaff crew, and particularly before they've been known as the Falstaff Crips. So this is kind of just a Toronto gang map that I'll show you, right? And I've heard basically I've heard people refer to, full staff as the staff. You got Jane and Finch Driftwood up here. Obviously, this is all kind of famous for Presser and them lot, okay? But they're basically saying this is the staff, all right? And allegedly, Top 5 had spun through the staff a lot of times. He raps about the staff, full staff, spinning through there, and they got a whole bunch of Crips there, okay? It's they have beef with nearby rivals from Bloodhoods, right? This is a serious hood, all right? This is a serious bunch of gangsters there from out there, okay? So this same gang, all right, the Top 5's GGG gang, basically like Top 5's gang, the GGGs, they're from Lawrence Heights, aka the Jungle, okay? And they were beefing heavily with full staff. There's a bunch. Let me pull up some lyrics real quick. So look, Top 5 got hella lyrics where he's dissing the ops, right? But like he's always saying, I'm in the staff smoking on that clutch pack. I'm in the town smoking on that sizzler. He's talking about all different people. Okay. I shot him 5 times because he looked like Elo, all right? He's saying that he shot an innocent 5 times because he looked like Elo, a full staff 234 9 block member. They have a serious beef. Okay.
Hello? This LO? See that? Toronto rapper, fall staff. This is LO. This is all of GGG. LO, Hot 97 freestyle. LO and 9 problems.
He's been pulling up. He's been spinning the staff. He's been spinning full staff, smoking on clutch pack nonstop. All right, that's just what's going on. I'm sorry, you call me a snitch all you want, but that's what was going on. So Top 5 basically, was in this beef, and he basically allegedly was accused of this first-degree murder. He ended up getting freed. Rumor has it that Drake paid his lawyer fees, was one of the best lawyers in Toronto, and he was released in custody after spending 3 years in jail. This was allegedly the murder of a man named Hashim Omar Hashi, who lived in the high-rises located on Falstaff Avenue. Now, Top 5 beat these charges, and as you see from them lyrics, he's saying he shot him 5 times because he looked like Elo. And it turns out to be an innocent guy. So Top 5, he was charged with the first-degree murder in the shooting death of the 20-year-old man. He was freed Monday after the Crown stayed the charge. Thanks to Drake. Thanks to the 6 God Drizzy Drake. He'd been charged with the death of Hashim Omar Hashi, an accounting student. He was shot multiple times. Better not be 5 times, while trying to enter a parking garage near Jane Street and Falstaff Avenue shortly before 9 p.m. on January the 31st, 2021. According to Toronto Police, he died at the scene. Family and friends described him as a humble, hardworking kid. 2 weeks after the shooting, Top 5 was arrested in Windsor, Ontario, and charged, and he was 3 years in custody and was just about to go on trial when the Crown suspended its case because they wouldn't allow his videos or social media posts, and he'd be thanking God for that, to be used as evidence at trial. But the rumor was that the theory was that Top 5 was part of a gang that was rivaling another operating in the area, and they basically said that they was looking for people. They was looking for people that looked like Elo, allegedly, right? And Top 5 beat it. He said, I innocent man came home, RIP, I'm an innocent man, all right? Okay, sure, all right, sure. So here's the thing. So when we go back to the original reporting on this, all right, they're saying that basically Malik Cunningham, he was at a funeral ready to shoot the spot up. It says Princeton said Cunningham was identified as a member of the Falstaff crew.
What? Yo, how did this get under my radar? This nigga was at a funeral ready to shoot. Wow. Y'all niggas got no heart, fam. You're gonna shoot up the funeral?
Which was in conflict with gangs from the Lawrence Heights, the GGGs, the Jungle, okay? He'd been captured on video purchasing binoculars, gloves, and walkie-talkies. Now, look, if your ops are out here with the binoculars, the gloves, and the walkie-talkies, all right, they're not normal ops. That's a high level.
No, this nigga was trained in Mexico on how to do that shit. Yo, that's the kind of ops you have, 5? Yo, military trained ops, fam? What? Oh my God. That's insane, bro. Because like we said, like we went through this whole video like months ago about how this guy was military trained, and they send him to Mexico, and they're probably running around through barbed wires and dirt, and all that shit that they do in the military training and shit like that. They're like crawling on the ground and shit, like how to hold the rifle while you're crawling on the ground, like wild shit. Like that's not the type of training that niggas in the hood have. Niggas go on top of the roof, shoot at some cans and shit. You know what I'm saying? Try to find a secluded area where, like, they might. I ain't even gonna rat out the reserves and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, Night vision binos? Fam, what hood nigga has night vision binoculars, brother? That's not just a regular hood man, like, yo, just any nigga's car, you pull them over. Oh shit, they got the burner. Oh, there goes the night vision binoculars. All these niggas, why you guys always got that shit? Like, no, bro. I think that guy is the only one, fam. Him and whoever else was trained on Ryan Wedding's team. Y'all the only niggas in Toronto who got the freaking night vision binoculars for the drill. Everybody else is just like low-key squinting. One of the niggas, like, he don't even want to freaking show his friends that he needs to wear glasses. He just wants to stay cool in front of his friends. So his eyesight bad as fuck. Holding the gun sideways, trying to look cool. Bong, 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 bong. You know, could barely see. That's why these niggas be like just hitting walls and innocence and shit. These niggas be like, they could barely see some of these niggas. Like, why you bring Tyrone on the freaking drill? Tyrone needs contacts. This nigga got night vision binoculars, brother. You got night vision binoculars? You about to go on a drill, King Philip? Or you just got them? Because, like, shit, like, it's okay to have them. But if you're a killer, then what the hell? These niggas are equipped. There was other things. Walkie-talkies? Huh? That is high-level drill, fam. A walkie-talkie, that means they're trying to really get off of the grid. The only people who can get onto that walkie-talkie feed is the other person on the other side. Ryan Wedding's people. Yo. Okay, are you at the site? You're at the funeral? All right. Like, what? These stupid niggas just run around and do drills with their cell phones in their pockets. Not this guy. Well, actually, he did have a cell phone on him. So, dummy. Duh. Actually, let me not call you a dummy, because just because Ryan White is in jail doesn't mean everybody else is locked up. Right? What do you want me to look up? Night vision binoculars? Where you want me to look? Google? Night vision binos, Canada. Can we see some? Oh, let me go on Design. Are these night vision? Best value for hunting. No Wi-Fi needed. What the hell? Look at this. $50? Wow. That's it? Yo, I might need to cop me some of these, fam. These are fire. Why do you keep on saying for adults? Look at this. Low night vision. Lens / low night vision. Oh my God. 129, fam. I'm copping. I don't know why. I just want them now, bro. With the little green things on the end. Those are fire, bro. What? That's what the man them are rolling with?
Up. Outside Abdi Karim's funeral, the Explorer with tinted windows attracted attention when the occupant of the vehicle was moving from the front to the back of the vehicle without exiting. So they was apparently spinning a funeral, and they got shooters from the Falstaff. Now I'm gonna move over a second, okay? I'm gonna touch back base with what's going on in these streets, because basically the police had been looking for this Mr. Perfect guy for a minute. They've been trying to track him down. They've been trying to get to the bottom of it, okay, ever since this murder happened. Because Mr. Perfect, aka Mr. Cunningham, all right, he was wanted for this murder in connection with the killing of Randy Fader. And this is Randy.
Hold on, Mr. Perfect. You keep on saying this motherfucker there. I'm sorry to keep on stopping the video, but this is a reaction. Mr. Perfect. It's not this guy.
He came in as Kurt Hennig.
It's not it's not Mr. Perfect.
You all know why I'm Mr. Perfect.
It's not him. Remember when Mr. Perfect used to do like the freaking the feats, the sports feats? Let's not get sidetracked. I'm just trying to see if he's a rapper. Because that sounds like too much of a rapper name. Mr. Perfect? That's a fire rapping name.
Fader's mother, Claire Fader, basically talking to the news about the horrible assassination of her son. It was near Niagara Falls, near the US border. And basically, he was allegedly part of the drug trafficking ring who had basically been involved in this stuff to do with the cartel. His mother denied that her son was ever involved in the cartel business and what Ryan Wedding had going on with the cartellies. But things unfortunately got very serious, okay? So this is all in the documentary. I all broke it down, okay? Basically, you know, they had a hit on this guy.
Ryan Wedding's alleged right-hand man as the FBI informant over the past year in this case.
People were shot outside an establishment at Queen West in Portland.
I do believe targeted, but to what extent, I don't know yet. I don't know the relationship between the parties.
A 30-year-old man was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. A 36-year-old woman and 33-year-old man were transported with non-life-threatening injuries.
There were a lot of people here in a variety of different establishments. You can see that there was a couple clubs, a restaurant there, people running out of all of those establishments.
Officers spent hours collecting evidence and processing the scene.
Anytime you have somebody with a firearm and they're openly shooting that firearm in the middle of a crowded roadway in the city of Toronto, there's obviously concerns with regards to firearm safety and violence in the city.
And while police don't believe there are any safety concerns for residents in the area, they are looking for any information you may have about those responsible.
We have to speak. We have to stand for our rights. This is not correct.
Now, the idea that there is no safety concern for those who reside in this neighborhood comes as little consolation to many of the people that we got a chance to speak to.
You know, this is Top 5 reacting to Jason's death. He said, "You did every and anything for me. That's why you'll forever be my big bro, Jason." Heartbroken emojis. Okay, so that was Jason there. And, you know, he was really beloved all across Toronto. Okay, says when these rappers are saying, "Come get your get back," they're asking for themselves or someone they know to get killed. I never understood it. It's like, I ain't trying to hate, but okay, we're not going to just. I thought there might be some interesting stuff in here, but maybe not. But you know, he was kind of loved. A lot of people said that they was going to slide for him. He was mourned very heavily by his people. People were saying it's a year since Jason passed away. The GGGs issue a PSA. They said it's Jason Day. Stay safe. Top 5 with Jason is GGG chain. Okay. You know, there were more. Some of the most devious demons from the GGG, Century GGG, one of the most dangerous GGs all out here. He was locked up for a murder. He posted a message about Jason, all right? He said, "I wake up thinking about you every day, big bro. You know how I'm of. You know, I got too much love for Jason to put a K behind GGG, even though he was beefing with Top 5 in the GGGs, all right? So Jason, aka AB, but blood. So he was beloved, okay? And based on these posts, it seems that Presser, even after the falling out with Top 5 and the GGGs, he still had love for him. And now this is a crazy crossover because this is Buck Fiddy, a UK rapper that made his way to America. He caught a wild case. He allegedly was he was allegedly meeting dudes on Grindr and robbing them of their Bitcoin, allegedly,
Whoa.
right? But there's Buck Fiddy linked up with Presser, and they taking shots. People were saying, were they taking shots at Jason, or are they still cool with Jason? Look at this. So that's him showing off the jewels. I think it was this next post or this part here. And assassinated in their driveway that ain't got no, they ain't recording no music, they ain't dissing, spinning the block, drilling. They got a real life cartel narco operation going on. Okay.
Okay, let me see what his final thoughts are here.
Brother, you really beefing with some grenade launching motherfuckers, bro. What are you doing out here, bro? Like, it's long.
What? Hold on, let me rewind this.
Grill, this the I don't know, 2022, like this a brand new striker. You got the panoramic roof, you guys spinning in the panoramic roof with the Luger 9 and 150 racks cash. What kind of drillers are you? These guys are real life Canadian narcos. It's insane. Okay, so it says Clark's hit list also included a realtor in Van, some Arabs, and a Mexi who owned a restaurant and his wife.
Wow.
According to evidence from US prosecutors filed in a Toronto court as they were seeking to extradite several Canadians, including Cunningham. So they're trying to bring Mr. Perfect, who was, I don't know, maybe they'll find out that that's who killed Jason. I don't know, but they're trying to extradite him to the United States. U.S. authorities allege Clark arranged Cunningham to receive military training in Mexico. He's sending them to the cartels to get trained. Discuss procuring grenade launchers and firearms. Thank God that these are not your ops anymore, right? Top 5. I'm not going to lie. I rock with Top 5, but brother, you really beefing with some grenade launching motherfuckers, bro. What are you doing out here, bro?
You hold on. Did he say, thank God those are not his ops anymore? This is where I got to step in as like the Toronto freaking guy. Ross, no. People don't just stop beefing with each other. Niggas be opping forever, generations. That's his ops currently, bro. Like, damn, nigga. Like, for real, though. Like, you got ops that, like, I don't know if this is something that is recent, okay? Because we are just finding out about it in 2024. He received military training. So maybe it's more recent. Actually, it's showing that it's more recent, 2024. So maybe prior to that, because from what we know for online, right, all the stuff online, this beef has been going on probably since 2015, 2016, from what we can see online. It could have been going on from before that. I don't know. You feel me? But from like 2016 is when we knew that Top 5, maybe even 2017, that Top 5 had issues with Falstaff Block. Okay, it's documented in multiple YouTube videos. So this is like a 10-year-old beef. But what's concerning is over the 10 years, your ops might have been just as sloppy as shit might have been on the other side. Okay, because almost everybody in that crew of the GGGs have been locked up for some kind of murder. So your ops might have been used to be a sloppy ops, just running around with their cell phones in their pocket, doing drills, shooting sideways, all the shits that I mentioned before. But post 2024, some of them niggas got military training. And that doesn't mean because they got one guy that they got everybody. And that's where I'm saying it's concerning. Because if your ops are getting recruited by the likes of Ryan Wedding and different gangs, or not even gangs, but like higher ups, that's when shit can get spooky in the streets. All right? This nigga had what? Night vision goggles and gloves and walkie-talkies. Like, nigga, I'm so glad I'm not in the streets, bro. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, bro. Like, this is kind of spooky to me. Is Top 5 in danger from Ryan Wedding's gang? 80% of y'all are saying yes. But like, in my opinion, like if this is what your ops are being trained on and like they're still on like, yo, we trying to get y'all. Listen, I'm not trying to tell y'all to stay out the street. I'm just saying I'm happy I am not in the streets because the China choices that y'all niggas got to make to go outside, I'm not trying to make, fam. That's just crazy. But yeah, let's move on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.